Morning, everybody. It is 3:17 in the morning, and when you're at work, sometimes you get some ideas, and sometimes you get some good ones, sometimes you get some bad ones, and in my present state, I'm not sure which this is, but I'm gonna throw this out to the community regardless. I I received a comment about on one of my videos, relatively recent, and the person was from I want to say like an Eastern Bloc European country, and they say it's really hard to get Warhammer figs there, and when you can get them, they're rather expensive, and because of that, he thought my gargoyle nid thing was kind of nifty, and that got me thinking because obviously the whole world is kind of in a depression kind of state. My thought process was this: with the Tyranid army being kind of an organic army, at least in looks, and with like plastic plants and different things you can find around the house and try and utilize, can also have an organic look to it. My thought process is, why not proxy a Tyranid army with an army that is fast fiber plants, and all that would be an evolutionary step in plants where, I mean, because plants are already starting to eat small animals. Plants can grow on carcasses and whatnot, and the thing that with plants that doesn't make them viable as an army is because they don't have the ability to move. And my thought process was, what if something occurred in the evolutionary stage that allowed plants to have fast moving fibers? And my thought process would be something to do with blood and or like meat, DNA substance, that when they are able to ingest that, it enables their fibers to have a fast twitch ability, which actually gives them the ability to move, and at that point gives them the ability to hunt, which at that point it would make them virtually identical to the Tyranids, except in the sense that the Tyranids are supposed to be insectoid, whereas these would be plant life based. I came up with a name, organoids, as in organic sentient beings, and also if you wanted to give them the ability to like spread to other stars, etc., you can say that when they ingest other sentient beings, they can take a little bit of the knowledge that was still left in the brain, because the brain still has an electrical impulse that's there for like a month after they die. For whatever reason or ability, these plants are able to actually gain access to that, and they can learn in advance, and they can use their own body's natural abilities to modify, along with the intellect of higher intelligent beasts, to essentially become their own force to be reckoned with, which their reasoning would be, I need living things to move, i.e. things with blood and meat. So they would be rampaging around trying to get things with blood and meat to allow them to continue on. And that would be their reason to go out into the stars, etc., etc., etc. So to do this, now I'm only going to do this if there's a bunch of people interested in this, because really, I've shown you guys what you really need to do, and it's based on your imagination. If your imagination has you dead in the water, you know, there's only so much I can do for you. I can, if there is a lot of interest in this, I'd be happy to proxy a troop type for each Tyranid type over to an organic equivalent, or a plant equivalent. And what you're probably going to want to do is have between, say, 20 to 30 set items that you can utilize in different combinations to create your troop types, your different troop types. The reason I say that is because you're going to want some unifying elements. And if you use different combinations of things throughout the entire army, that's going to automatically give your army a unified look and feel on the gaming table. And also, it means you don't have to go out and get a million different types of plants. And plastic plants you can find anywhere. I think you can go to any country in the world and they're going to have cheapo plastic plants. And if you're really cheap, I hear you can go to like cemeteries, because they just throw out their plastic plants after they do their you know, their services and whatnot. And if you talk to the guys there, they'll give it to you, just strip them down for parts. And then when you get enough parts that you can start proxying out your plants, then you do that. And then just like I did in that last video, you make that plant type, and then you put down a list of everything you need to make that particular one, and then just go through and make all of your different troop types, and then just make sure you have enough of those parts to make as big of the squads as you want to make. And you can change up your you can put special parts on like leaders, etc., etc., etc. You see where I'm going with this. So I've got a huge amount of plastic plants. I'll give you a quick view in what I've got, because maybe this will help you. But you know, I've got like all of those. It's really dark down here, guys. I'm sorry. I had a light blow out on me, and it's of course the one that's closest to where my plants are. But like you know, different types of plants there. And you can also modify them to look differently by snipping off little parts of them. And it'll really go a long ways to giving standard pieces a different look. You know, and I mean, look, plastic plants, plastic plants. These are all plastic plants, guys. And that's just the first row. And we got another row of them. And there's more than one type of plastic plants in these guys. And there are more over in other areas. So like that's like what, like 12 in each. So it's like what, 26 of them that have different plastic plants. And you know, pistachio nuts. I've got a big old glass full of pistachio nuts. How about those spoons? Well, I picked up 100 spoons. So now I've got 100 spoons that I can do things with. So you see, guys, you don't it doesn't have to just be plastic plants, it could be anything. And your best stuff, your coolest looking stuff, come right out of nature. I mean, face it, that's just cool. You know what I'm saying? That's just a very cool looking something or other. You know? Now, I don't know about bugs and all that other stuff. You might want to dry them out, make sure there's no little nasties in them before you bring them in your house, etc., etc. Um, I don't know, maybe cook them in the oven for a short period of time. That ought to take care of anything that's in there. But once again, my point. Oh, also stuff that could be sci-fi can also look plant-like. You know, you've seen that on sci-fi stuff. That'll work for plants. This thing can have all sorts of little sucker thingies coming out of it. It's endless, guys. It really is. So, if there's a lot of people interested, say yes. If there's a lot of people that are not interested, I also want to hear from them, because if there's a ton of people that don't want me to do this, I'm not going to waste my time. But that's the thought for the morning. So take care. Love you. Bye-bye.